African football champions Nigeria take on Kenya later today in a World Cup qualifier in Nairobi. The Super Eagles have had a busy schedule heading into the qualifier, training in Europe and playing a match in the US before coming to Kenya. Now, after the 1-1 draw in the first leg in Calabar, both teams are not taking anything to chance.
We are the pride of Africa.
A passion for the beautiful game, evident as these fans argue about who, between Kenya and Nigeria, will carry the day in the World Cup qualifier in Nairobi. On paper, the Super Eagles are favoured to soar, but with the line between the so-called big teams and minnows growing ever so blurry in African football, the Eagles aren't getting overconfident.
It's really important game for the two teams, because of the results. We're not under pressure. We're getting ready to face a very good team. Hopefully we can turn the tide and qualify from the group.
The first leg ended 1-1 in Calabar, with Kenya's goal a stunning free kick from Francis Kahata. The Nigerian keeper isn't concerned about similar set pieces in the match on Wednesday.
I don't care about free kicks, really. Anybody can score a goal. We care about winning.
The African champions have only scored 3 goals in their World Cup campaign thus far, and they come into the match against Kenya without some key men up front, Victor Moses, Kalu Uche and Emmanuel Emenike. But coach Stephen Keshi is not a worried man.
We have a lot of players. We don't depend on just one player. We depend on the team. So if Victor is not here, Emenike is not here, it doesn't matter.
Winning the 2013 Africa Cup of Nations after almost 2 decades was a testament to Nigeria's return to the top of African football. Keshi, who has won the African trophy, both as a player and coach, credits the recent team success to a technical bench made up of former players.
Yes, it's one of those reasons, because they've played on the highest level. They know what to tell the players and the right things to do in training section, so it's part of it.
Group F teams play their World Cup qualifiers earlier than the rest of the continent, since Nigeria will be heading to this year's Confederations Cup in Brazil. The Super Eagles, however, say their priority lies with the qualifiers before they can set their minds to what many call the 2014 World Cup preamble. Celestine Karone, CCTV, Nairobi.
Well, let's get more on that. Kenya versus Nigeria World Cup qualifier. Celestine Karone is at the match venue in Nairobi's Sports Center, Kasarani. Celeste, Kenya has never beaten Nigeria, but after the 1-1 draw in Calabar, is there a belief among the Kenyans, though, that there could be a win this time around?
Well, definitely, Beatrice, there is belief among Kenyans that they can turn the tide against the Nigerians, despite the statistics showing that Kenya has never won against Nigeria, especially at home. Nigeria has always gotten the best of the Kenyan team. The last match they played here was in 2009 in this very stadium, and Nigeria won that match 3-2. Just a show of how Kenyans believe in their team. In fact, already 3 hours to the match and fans have started streaming into these grounds, Beatrice. They are saying that this is the time for them to shock the African champions. Of course, you're looking at a situation where both teams are missing some key players, but the coaches were confident in the run-up to this match today. They are saying that that will not hamper any of their chances. Of course, you're looking at a situation where each team is trying to show that whatever players they have on the bench can come up and work, of course, towards their objectives, which every team is looking at 3 points, Beatrice.
Celestine, Nigeria had a marathon of a journey ahead of this crucial match from Europe to the US and then to Kenya. Is there a concern, though, that they could be fatigued? Well, that question was put to Stephen Keshi yesterday in a press conference, and Stephen Keshi was like, the team is used to traveling. You remember that Nigeria has players who have played in Europe, a grueling season, the Champions League, many domestic leagues, many matches they have played, and they have come in straight into camp in Germany, went to the US to play in Mexico, and now they are here. And they're saying this, as African champions, they're used to this. They're used to a hectic schedule. So they're saying the fatigue will not be a problem. Of course, it is important to note that most of the players who went to USA to play Mexico were more or less a second stream side. The big names were not there. People like Obi Mikel did not play in that match, and this is a man who will be key for Nigeria in midfield today, Beatrice. Celeste, this is definitely going to be a match to watch, but can you take us through the other match in Group F? Well, definitely, Beatrice, Group F, as we had mentioned in the package earlier, is they are all playing their matches early than the rest of the African teams who are playing over the weekend, because Nigeria must go and play in the Confederations Cup in Brazil later next week. Malawi take on Namibia in Blantyre in the other match of Group F. Now, this match is key for Malawi because Malawi will be looking to get 3 points. They are tied on 5 points with Nigeria at the top of the group, and they are hopeful that they can actually qualify for the playoff round. So Malawi will be looking to pick maximum points against Namibia just to make sure that when they play the next match against Kenya, a draw or a win will be enough, and then when they meet Nigeria, they will actually stand a chance of qualifying. Remember, only one team from each of the 10 groups qualifies for the third and final round of qualifiers, which will be later in November. Beatrice.
All right, Celestine Caroneo, following the Kenya versus Nigeria World Cup qualifier at the Sports Stadium, Kasarani in Nairobi. Thank you very much. We'll leave it there for the moment, but thank you very much for staying with us here on Africa Live. Up next, Culture Express. Bye-bye for now.